I'm Lisa Welsh and I was the Communications Manager for WAS 2021. And today I am delighted to be talking with Elsa Almås about the presentation that she delivered at the Congress. Welcome, Elsa. It is fantastic to have you here today.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. I would love if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit more about you and the work that you do for anybody who's not already familiar with you.
I think that's most people. My name is Elsa Almås, as you already said. I'm a clinical psychologist and also specialist in clinical sexology by an authorization of the Nordic Association for Clinical Sexology. I have been working with sexology since 1978 when I attended my first conference in Rome. And I must say that I really fell in love with sexology as a field because it's exciting. It is so comprehensive. There are so many different people working in sexology. So I have been just in love with sexology. So I've been working in the Norwegian Society for Sexology and in the Nordic Association and in the European Federation, and now I'm a member of the advisory board of WAS. I'm very happy to do this work. And what I've seen is that in a way sexology is of course evolving, but I also see that there's a lot of organizational issues that need to be perhaps sorted out, because sometimes we do the same work again and again. Often we see that people don't know what has been done 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So we are not, we don't have systems to relate to the organizational history. And we also have very loose ideas about what is the rest of the world doing. I have a pretty good idea about what's happening in Europe, but I had absolutely no idea about what was happening in Africa or in Asia or in Australia or in North and South America. So I decided that I would try to find out more about the other organizations. What I did then was to look at find out what are the organizations, and I also see that WAS is only one of several international organizations working with sexual health and rights and education. But if we then stick with that WAS, we know that there are 5 federations, and I looked at these 5 federations to see what mission and goals did they state in their statutes. I also saw that, of course, in Europe, we have many national organizations, about 52 or 53 different member organizations. In Africa, there are none. In North America, they have had organizations, but they don't have national organizations as we have. In South America, they have some national organizations. So it's very differently organized. Anyway, I was able to describe sexological work by their organizations, like organizations who work on the global level, organizations who work on the regional level, and also national organizations. And I looked at the statutes for all these.
Wow.
So I tried to analyze if there were similarities and differences between the work that these organizations did. And I found some differences that I think are useful and interesting. And that is to see that WAS can do its main work on a global level, working with global organizations like the UN, like the WHO, and also with governments. And I think that WAS should focus on that kind of work. And then I saw that the regional organization, they are doing work on communication between national organizations in their region. They do that in Europe, and that is also happening in Africa, and that is also happening in North and South America, and also in Asia and Australia. So it's I think it's wide agreement on that. And I also see that on the federational level, it's very useful to work with accreditation. And we've done that in the Nordic countries. We have a common accreditation, which makes accreditation more, what should I say? It weights more, and it has greater influence, because we can see that that's happening also in Sweden and Denmark. So it's not only Norway. But then I looked at the national organizations. What do they do? I think what is the most important thing for national organization is to be a network for the individual members, to make spaces where they can meet, and to make education, and also to have supervision and teaching, and also develop educational programs, of course. So I think that the organization can do very good work together if they focus on different issues and tasks.
Fantastic.
So that is what I have been trying to share in my presentation.
Fantastic. What great work to actually have a good overview of everything that's out there, see what is working. And I'm sure from that perspective, you were able to kind of pick out the things that, could be replicated across the board. It's absolutely fascinating. Who do you think would really benefit from watching your presentation?
I think people who are working in the organizations, and I think also maybe for people who like to attend an organization, because if you are interested in international work, you might become a member of WAS directly. If you're more interested in clinical work, in counseling and therapy, it might be better to work with a national organization. And if you are really interested in developing sexological professional education, you may also be working in a regional organization, I think.
Yeah, fantastic. So really, so many people could benefit from this. It's great to see kind of what could be the most beneficial for you. And like you said, great for the people in the organizations to get an insight into what other people are doing and how they could learn from that. And like you say, come together, create that network, which is where we're really going to see change in the world. I'm sure you've seen so much change over the time that you've been in this field. And like you said, some patterns repeating themselves, but overall, do you think things are moving to a positive space?
Yes, I think it's developing in a very nice way. I see that during the last years we have had more activism and more political work, and I think also that the last Congress, which I call the Congress in Cape Town, even if we were not there, but I felt that we were there, that the African perspective added also some political perspective about sexual rights, and also about gender issues, and also what should I say, the unfairness of political systems throughout the world. So in Norway we are very, very privileged, and we have a system where people trust the government, they trust the politicians, and I think that is a very fortunate thing for a country. It has been very fortunate during the COVID situation, where I think more than 90% of the Norwegian population is vaccinated.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this and for sharing your perspective as well, Elsa. It's been great to chat with you. And I just want to remind everybody who registered to attend the Congress in Cape Town that you still have access. You have access to all of the content until the end of December 2021, which is rapidly disappearing. This year is almost done. So make sure that you go online onto the Hoover app and find those presentations that you still want to watch. There are so many available on demand. And if you did not sign up for WAS 2021 and you're regretting it, you can now sign up to get access to everything for only $50. So I will be sure to share the link so that you can do that. But thank you again, Elsa. It was a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.